Okay, I'm now going to ask Kieran to declare the result of the first ballot, and we will shortly just put it up on the screen as well, but I'll ask Kieran just to declare the vote, please. We can't get your attention.
Okay. We have 88 people in the room and we had 88 votes cast. One of those was an invalid vote. It didn't have a mark for any of the three options. So we have 87 valid votes. Of those, 11 agree with retaining the status quo, 74 do not agree, and 2 don't know. So it's very clear that the agree has not got an overall or anything near an overall consensus within the group. So the recommendation is not to retain the status quo at the moment. We've no clear consensus for that. We'll move on to the next ballot.
Okay, I'm now going to pass the call to move us now to stage 2. I did say it'd take us a while to get going, but well done to everybody. We're off and running. Stage 2.
Thanks, Kieran. Thanks, Paul. And thanks to our scrutineers as well. So we're now moving to stage 2 of ballot paper 2. Stage 2 of voting is a very simple question. It presents options A through to F, being the status quo, health diversion, comprehensive health-led approach, tolerance for all drugs, and legalisation and regulation. And Model F is a hybrid, which is something that we will come to if we go through to stage 3. A hybrid approach means that you will take a different approach for certain drugs compared to others. The definition of that we will work out in stage 3 if we come to that level of detail. So the ballot paper that's now been distributed in draft format on white paper is stage 2 voting. So we'd ask you all just spend a short amount of time, probably 15 minutes at the most, discussing this. The question is very straightforward. On the right-hand side, as you can see on the screen, you have 6 boxes, and you put an X in the box of your first and your first preference. And this is to establish whether or not the members of the Assembly have a preference, an overall majority in preference for any one of these particular approaches. We already know the answer to ballot paper A, or option A rather, the status quo, but we're retaining it on this question again for people to express a preference for that. But if there is an overall majority for either of the options B, C, D or E, that is the decision of the room. If there's an overall majority for F, we move to stage 3 balloting paper, stage 3 voting. And if there is no overall majority for any of these options, we then also move on to stage 3, where we get into a little bit more nuanced decision making about which approach one would take for different types of drugs. So we're available if there's any questions, but please spend the next 15 minutes at the most and discussing this, and make sure that you all understand what's being asked of you. It's a single vote with an X in the box of your first preference for what should be done for all drugs.
Okay.
Thank you.
So again, I think we can well do this in 15, so please work with us, and we'll answer any questions at the end and we'll go to ballot. This is a simple declaration of your preference for a model.